right, home service pros, welcome to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast, episode number 144. Today we have a special guest on the show, Mr. Dan Goodman of Building 36 out of Needham, Massachusetts. Building 36 looks like to be a smart and healthy home technology expert. Been doing it for 20 plus years, looks to me. So welcome to the show, Dan.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We appreciate being a guest here. So tell us what you do, who you do it for, where you do it, Dan.
Sounds good. Well, yeah, so just a quick background. I am a recovering engineer. So deep down, I got a degree in computer science and electrical engineering from MIT.
Nice.
Started out doing chips and getting people design, they were designing products, changing gears and sprockets to processors. And that sort of led me on this path. And I was making these wireless chips and I stumbled on this guy who said, hey, let's make a wireless thermostat. And I said, well, that sounds like a great idea.
Right.
So made the first Wi-Fi thermostat. So before, Nest, I had the 3M branded products at Home Depot. And I ended up making thermostats for the security world. So I had, all the security guys out there and some of the cable guys out there were using our thermostats and really that first connected thermostat application. And I like to joke that I woke up one night in a cold sweat, and I'll let this company remain nameless, but I realized I was selling thermostats to a cable company. It's like, how do you sleep at night when it's like, hey, I got no heat or AC and we'll get somebody out to your house in 2 to 3 weeks. Don't worry about it. So
exactly.
I said, we got to rethink our life direction here. So we started Building 36, taking everything we know about technology, right? Connected devices, how to get them online, how to keep them online, how to get, user experience, how to make sure everything is good and secure. But said, who are the people that should be controlling this? And it's the professional trades, right? We started a business that we sell to the trades and only to the trades. We'll never sell at retail, never sell direct to consumer. But the other big shift was that, a lot of these products out there that are connected products, there's a big cost associated to running them. Right? Every time there's a new security leak or every time there's a new iPhone or Android, I got to update my system. Right. So we said that, to be a viable business in this ongoing, ever-changing world, you have to charge for service.
Yep.
So we wanted to change from this commodity transactional, sell one thing to a customer, get out, and build this value-added services offering and really tie that into what the trades are doing.
Nice.
So what we've done is build a company that, again, uses smart home technology to be this, kind of glue and engaging piece to the consumer, but then tie it back to your contracting business, right? So that if you're a plumber, you're literally monitoring a home for a leak, or we can monitor their sump pump, or we can have point water sensors, or even tie it into their irrigation system, so that a customer has an app with the contractor's name in it, the contractor's brand in it, and you tie it all in with their maintenance program or membership program.
Yeah.
And it becomes a home run. The customers never leave. So that's a very long-winded explanation of who we are.
Good stuff. Yeah, very difficult for the homeowner to stay on top of all these connected devices. So you're right. So put it in the hands of people who are used to working on gadgets and gizmos, and in the home, doing home service repairs and installations for homeowners. So yes, I agree. It should be a subscription model, right? You have a phone app that's connected to your devices. So let's talk about your devices, I guess. What are you addressing in the home?
I mean, so you can do everything, right? I mean, my house, I've got 84 connected devices and one very patient wife.
Wow.
But what we really want to focus on is specifically trade-specific products. So at the core of this is a thermostat where we can monitor your heat and cool, right? And then we've got water-specific products that are, we have a flow meter with a shutoff valve.
Mm.
So if we detect an abnormal flow of water, automatically turns off water coming into the house, right? So you can shut it off right at the main. We have point water sensors, and then we've got a bunch of other sensors that can tie into, so like sump pump monitoring. So we've got a dry contact sensor that we can monitor. We've got a partner, Pro Series Pumps, that has a dry contact output on their pump controller, right? And so we can monitor that pump. But the big, I'd say, magical piece that we've figured out is that forget about Wi-Fi. Everybody, it's like your technicians out in the field, they don't want to try to figure out homeowners' Wi-Fi passwords. So we made everything cellular. So we just pop a hub in the house, and it's cellular, so it's automatically got a Verizon or an AT&T account, and boom, it's done. So you literally just turn it on, plug it in, and it's connected, and all the devices automatically pair to that. So it's like all the challenges that a technician, like, they don't want to be, these super techie geeks. It's like, you don't have to be anymore. I took care of all that. So all you need to do is activate the account, and boom, it's done.
Man, I love that. In another world, I was in the solar world, and Wi-Fi was always a problem connecting the monitoring of the solar panels to the app. So yours is all cellular, so just literally plug it in, maybe ID
Mm-hmm.
the parts connected to it, and you're done.
Right. I mean, and we've actually even simplified it, and we pre-kit everything.
I
So
see.
when it comes from our shop, it comes to you, say our basic kit, like a hub, and on the HVAC side, it'd be a hub, a thermostat, a smart plug, and a water sensor. So the water sensor is meant to protect the water heater. The thermostat, obviously, to control the thermostat, but to monitor the HVAC, and the smart plug, just to give a nice interactive piece, a little bit of home security idea. But all of those come pre-kitted, so that when you take the hub out of the box, when you pull the battery tab on the water sensor, it says, oh, I know who to talk to. Right? The thermostat says, oh, I know the hub I'm looking for, and it's already secure
Good.
and connected, and just makes it simple.
Absolutely love that. So the HVAC system, so if you're in the HVAC business, you're getting told ahead of time, really, that
Mm-hmm.
system's not working. So you can plan
Right.
for it. Does that'll send an alert to
Mm-hmm.
the home service company?
It's an alert to the technician. It also, we can also plug it right into CRM, like Service Titan.
Nice.
So it'll go right into Service Titan. And the cool thing about it is that we also do, in addition to monitoring all this, we also get the customers to do preseason tests, right? So like this time of year, I'm in Boston here. It's not that warm yet. Knock on wood, one of these days it's going to actually warm up here.
Yep.
But like today, where it's about 70 out and sunny, this is the perfect day to test your air conditioning, right? And there's so many people that may turn this on, like it's just warm enough where they may turn their AC on today,
Right.
but it's not that hot out, so that the fan may come on, but they may not realize their AC is broken. But what's going to happen in 3 weeks when it does get hot, or actually later this week, it's supposed to get up into almost the 90s. They're going to know that their AC is broken. So imagine all those HVAC guys who are sitting around today with nothing to do. All of a sudden, Wednesday, they're going to be slammed. If they could have gotten 2 or 3 more system replacements today and tomorrow,
Yep.
where Wednesday they're swamped, that just frees up more capacity for later in the week. So we get people to test their system ahead of time. We also have the ability to push maintenance reminders. I mean, it's wild. Back from central office, you can hit a button, and all these push notifications go on people's phones.
Nice.
And we see that it's like 3% of customers, literally, you hit this button, and 3% of customers you send that to will book an appointment immediately.
Yep.
And it's just that reach to be able to get into those customers. And everything we do in our app is all branded for the contractor. So it's their name, their contact information. So everything is catered to the contractor or plumber, so that it goes, it just builds that reinforcement of the brand and who they are.
Man, that's beautiful. So are you pushing are those seasonal push notifications, can they be programmed and, X number of times per year on this date of the year, so on and so forth?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. So you're easing the burden and giving a subscription service. So let's talk about that. So we're tying in the app is being monitored, right? The devices are being monitored. There's a cost behind that. So there's a cost to your company, and then you pass it on to the consumer, and let it looks like you let the contractor participate in that revenue share.
Right. I mean, we actually, the way we do it is we wholesale to the contractor, right? So
I see.
we include that cellular fee. I mean, think about how much would you pay for an extra phone line for your plan? You're talking $30, $40 a month, right? We're actually the largest consumer of cellular mobile data out there. We've got over 10 million properties that we're in right now.
Wow.
So we get pretty good rates from the carrier. So our fees actually include the cellular rate, and it's only a few dollars a month. So we charge a few dollars a month that includes the cellular connection and all of our service fees, and then you bundle that in with your maintenance program, right? So if you're charging $19.99 a month, right, or $200 a year, you just include this as part of that, right? And maybe you bump it up a few dollars, or maybe you just look at it as a marketing expense.
Right. Yeah, just to be in front, top of mind, to be in there.
Exactly.
Sending automations. You got a device in that property, they're going to call you if something's coming up.
Right.
So I love that on the HVAC side. Let's talk about the plumbing side. I got a lot more experience on that side with our clientele. So I was just literally having a conversation with one of our clients last week saying, man, every time you got who do a lot of leak detection and they have a
Mhm.
mitigation company. And I was like, at every single one of those houses, when you leave, there should be, we were talking about the mow and flow. So my apologies.
Yeah.
We were talking about that device. That should be installed, that should be being sold at every leak job. You got a water heater leak or a big damage leak, of course, right? So let's talk
Right.
about that. What does that device do, and where do you put it, and how does it monitor?
Right. So instead of having one that's sold by another manufacturer that all the data, everything goes back to Moen,
Right.
why not sell yours? Right. So the Building 36 water valve meter, and we market it under the alarm.com brand. We have a product wise that I'd say it's similar, but I think it's a little smarter in that it doesn't. First of all, it's not Wi-Fi, so it's cellular. So that way,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about setting it up. You just turn it on and plug it in, and you're good. We've got, it's a similar approach, right? We're looking at flow rates for certain amounts of time, and that's how we detect leaks. And there's kind of some smarts behind the scene on how we're detecting algorithms
Sure.
and things like, we've got patented algorithms. Like I can tell you when you have a running toilet, right? That
Right.
phantom flush.
Right.
I can see everyone you get a notification. I mean, I know in my own house, I've got I saw this small leak in my house. I was like, what is going on? And I was traveling and I got this alert and I called my wife and sure enough, kids were down in the basement and they had left the tap on just like a tiny amount.
Wow.
And we saw that. So similar idea where we can monitor every drop of water that comes in that house and turn it and be able to turn off the water remotely or instantly when that happens. But where it gets really exciting is that we can tie into many more things, right? So not only do we have the flow metering, we also have point water sensors. So I have little pucks that you can put in kind of high risk places like behind the washing machine, by the water heater, under the sinks. And then we also have sump pump monitoring. So if you've got a sump pump or ejector pump, we've got monitoring that comes in there. Again, thermostats, if you're a plumber, you're looking at boilers, depending on what part of the country you're in. So we can monitor boilers, make sure those are working okay. And then really cool is we can monitor sprinklers too. So I know my flow meter is talking to my irrigation system. So when it waters the lawn, it says, hey, I know we're using a lot of water, but that's not a leak. So, a lot of these systems will throw false alarms that if you're running your sprinklers, you get an alert, hey, high flow alert, and it shuts off your water, and it's like, no, I'm just watering my lawn. So like there's a lot more intelligence that are tied into that because we're part of that broader system.
Interesting. Does it have to tie into a smart sprinkler system, or can you just give it like, hey, between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. we're running our sprinklers kind of thing?
We have the capability to do both. I will say the smart ones are actually pretty cool because the smart ones now will actually look at the weather predictively to say, hey, it's going to rain tomorrow, so I'm not going to water today.
Yeah.
Whereas the dumb ones are like, well, it rained yesterday, so I won't water today. Whereas, to have forward looking, it really is amazing how much water they can save.
Yeah, and I think we're probably going to evolve more and more towards that because the water bill now is becoming, in lots of American households, the largest bill actually. They're taking their electric to solar, and now the water bill's the number one bill.
Now that's a really good point. Well, water, especially, I mean, we look at it. It's amazing, just kind of a flapper that's not doing its job inside a toilet. Like how much that can quadruple your water bill if you're not paying attention to it, and you might not find that out until. I mean, I know I get my water bills quarterly, right? So it could take me 3 months to realize that I have this problem, and by then, I could be looking at $1,000 bill.
Yeah. The bills can get really crazy big, especially if it's an outdoor leak, which you're not really noticing, right? You're going to get the bill, you're going to get the notice from the water company itself saying, hey, you probably have a leak, right?
Right. And we see that, pretty much instantly. And I know we've saved, just my friend here in town that I put one of these in his house, and he was doing construction. During this process, guy doing demo, they had already done the bathroom on the first floor. Now they're working on the one on the second floor right above it. Doing demo, he rips the 3/8 shut-off valve for the toilet right off the wall. I mean, literally holding it in his hand like, oh, this can't be good. Water's going everywhere. And it's a split level. So they're looking for the shutoff for the house. And this guy has no idea where the main is. It was actually underneath the stairs behind a false wall is where the real.
Oh, man.
And so he's running around turning every ball valve he can find, and he goes back upstairs after 15 minutes and realizes the water's off. He's like, I must have got it.
God.
And it's like what really happened was that we detected the leak, and in 1 minute we shut the water off.
I see.
and the guy could clean it up with a towel and some fans.
Yeah.
That would have been a $40,000 remediation
Oh
job
man.
easily.
Yeah. The horror stories I hear from my clients who are in the water damage business just blows me away. And the pictures right now, we're doing a social thing for them before and after. It's like, oh my God, you come home to that, no, thank you.
No, I mean, and the number of these that we've saved, just anecdotally, it's amazing to me how many homes that I figured we build a water meter and look at flow, and that you'd see a leak 1% or 0.5% of the time from these things, and it was within the first 30 or 60 days, it was like 40% of homes had some sort of leak. It was like staggering, and a lot of them are controlled leaks, right? A running toilet or an outdoor leak, like where. It's not necessarily going to do any damage, but all of a sudden you've got a massive water bill and you're trying to figure out where this is coming from. So these things pay for themselves, especially with the homeowners insurance. Most of these companies now will give you a 10% premium reduction for having it installed.
Yeah, so that's a good one. So that's a good selling point for the home service companies out there. You get a reduction. Call your insurance company to see if you get a reduction with especially the leak things. So the common things are your slab leaks, your water heater leaks, the washing machine hoses leak, which nowadays they put here in California, they put the washing machines on the second floor quite often in new builds. And so now, the kitchen's destroyed, the cabinets are destroyed, the wood floor is destroyed down below. It can get crazy really fast. Let's talk about, so you guys have been doing it for 20 something years. What'd you say? Like 500,000 households or some crazy number?
So we started building 36 12 years ago now. And very quickly ended up getting funded by Alarm.com, who's the world's largest interactive security company.
Nice.
So we decided that, it made a great fit because Alarm has all this core infrastructure. It's not, what we're offering isn't a life-critical mission safety system, but we're literally running it on Alarm.com's platform, which is. So, it's UL certified, SOC 2 compliant, all the security and running 24/7, 365. We don't come down for maintenance. It's not like, oh, check the app. Oh, we're down for maintenance this weekend. We'll see you on Monday. It's like, no, this thing is running nonstop with, 50 engineers that their whole life is just making sure the system stays up. So it's quite a robust system. So we partnered with them. We've been at this for about a dozen years. And at first we started and said, security systems are cool, right? Like you have all this cool home automation that ties into security. And there's, only a certain percentage of the market is ever going to take security. If I come to certain houses and say, hey, do you want to buy a security system? The number in the United States has consistently been in the low 20% range, right? So it's like, well, how do we get at the other 80% of homes? It's like, oh, well, look at all this cool stuff from security. We'll sell that minus the security piece. And what we found is that while it is very cool, it was distracting, right? You're a plumber, you're in an HVAC shop. It's like, you're chasing those big ticket items, the water heaters, the boiler, furnaces, AC, it's like to sell a smaller thing and get recurring revenue. It's like, those are nice, but it's not core in the business. So we've spent that time now retooling to focus specifically on the trades, right? So every product that we make and every kind of software feature that we deliver is intended to either generate more business for an HVAC or plumbing company or to enhance that relationship with that consumer to get them engaged in the app.
Yeah.
So, we see that the average user is logging into our app over 1.5 times a day.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah. So you think of that impression. And the other thing that we're doing is bridging this gap, right? So we have the security side where we've got 1.1 million thermostats in the field on in our security customers' homes. So what we're saying is all of those homes need to be protected, right? You need HVAC, you need plumbing. So we've got this program we call Pro HVAC Monitoring, where now the customer can sign up for
everything
monitoring of the HVAC or plumbing as far as that. And then if we detect an alert in the security customer's house, we route it directly to the local HVAC or plumbing shop.
Nice.
And we've turned that on in a bunch of markets now with, Brinks Security has been the first partner that we've had that's turned this on, and it's been great. It's been great for the customers. It's been great for the security company, and it's been great for the HVAC partners because they're identifying customers super low cost, and it's better than just getting leads because it's not just, oh, here's the alert one time. It's like, here's everybody who's opted in. So now we actually have an entire customer list that these are customers that care about their home. They care about having service providers that provide them value. So it's like it's really a really great match for all the way around. So that one's been another really exciting thing that we've been that we've been just getting off the ground.
I like it. Yeah, super important. I've been a big advocate of maintenance plans, getting recurring, even if you're losing money on the recurring revenues. So, like you mentioned earlier, 1995 is pretty common price. Really,
Mm-hmm.
just to get out there once a year, do your inspection, and be
Mm-hmm.
top of mind. They are paying you, so you're the guy there or girl, they're going to call. So that's super important. And now you're adding value to their already pre-existing, hopefully pre-existing maintenance plan. Hey, by the
Right.
way,
Exactly.
there's a freebie. We're adding this on, or is installation charge to buy the package and install it, but then it's automatically included in our maintenance plan. Is that a way a lot of guys go?
That's how everybody's doing it now. Is it's part of their maintenance plan. Most people. So we've got a couple ways, but by and large, most people will say, hey, anytime you buy a new system, the Building 36 hardware just comes as part of that. So they're sort of hitting the cost of our hardware in the price of a new HVAC system or the price of a new water heater, right? You're just getting the smart water heater or the smart HVAC system, and it
Oh,
includes
I
that.
see.
And then you get people to sign up for the maintenance plan to say, hey, listen, I want to sell you this new equipment, but we got to maintain it, right? If you don't keep it clean and we don't make sure it's running operationally, manufacturers don't honor their warranties. But we don't want this thing to break prematurely. So sign up for the maintenance plan, and you get all of this app and control as part of the maintenance plan. And then what happens is we see over 90% of people renew the maintenance plan.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at the life of most maintenance plans today, somebody bought the maintenance plan, something broke in my house, right? Somebody comes out to fix it. They say, hey, if you sign up for our maintenance plan, you're going to get a 10% or 20% discount on service today. So you say, well, sure. I do some quick math, and you say, well, of course, it's cheaper for me to sign up for the maintenance plan than it is for the cost of the repair. So I'll just sign up.
Right.
But what happens the next year when it's time to renew? They say, nothing broke this year, right? Especially if you miss the PM, I'll just sign up when something breaks, right? And now you've got a little bit of a stick to say, well, listen, part of our maintenance plan is this smart home stuff. So when, if you leave the maintenance plan, I'm sorry, I have to turn off the smart home. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, never mind. I'll stay.
Oh, wow.
Right. And now you've got this tangible value that, it's like, a lot of maintenance plans are like insurance policies, right? You don't see them until you need something.
Right.
And it's like, for a lot of people, right, it might not be an every year thing. It might be every couple of years that they need something. And so they tend to lose sight of that value, which, of course, anybody knows that whenever you have something break, to have somebody that you know and trust and is competent, like that's worth their weight in gold. But they don't think about it like that because it's just, it's not that common of an occurrence for them. So they kind of lose sight of that.
Yep.
And now when you have this app that they use every single day, then all of a sudden it's like the value of that maintenance plan is just driven home and away. I mean, literally our maintenance plans, we show our customers go north of 90% on the retention.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We had one partner that went from 25% to 85% retention.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that happening. Absolutely. Didn't even think about that when I was looking at your system, that it would lend. I did see that it'll lend value to the maintenance plan. I didn't see, I don't know why, it's clear as day that it would absolutely keep the retention of that maintenance plan. Otherwise, they see you coming out once a year and doing, X, Y, and Z, your 10-point plan. But, that $20 a month, especially nowadays, right? Everything's super expensive. People are pinching pennies. And they're looking at what are these monthly costs that we can get rid of, right?
Right. No, exactly. And it's funny. We've seen it because when we first started, we were trying to figure this out. Where does this fee go? Where do you build this in? How does it work? And we didn't have it built into the maintenance plan. And so some of our initial customers went out there and they sold a bunch, and it was sort of like, hey, let's get this in the house. We'll figure out how to make money later. And again, it's like it was distracting, right? So we wanted to say, let's get back to the core business. But there were a bunch of these customers out there that had free systems that were like, okay, we got to get you on the maintenance plan. And you call and you emailed, you wrote letters, nothing. Finally, the day came where the contractor said, like, I can't get a hold of these people. That's it. I'm turning this off. And they disabled their accounts. Those customers called immediately.
Right.
Hey, why doesn't my system work anymore? I can't control my app. I can't log in. And it was like, it is amazing the response rate when that happens. So that's when we knew that said, hey, this is glue, right? And this really ties you to a customer and lets you own the home.
That's fantastic, man. Do contractors cross over, Dan? So let's say I'm an HVAC contractor and I don't do plumbing. Is there any incentive or reason why I might want my customer to have that? Outside of course, protecting the customer. but from the home service company standpoint, do they cross over? Do they sell the water protection system, the lighting protection or
I mean,
control?
it's one of these things. The more stuff you get in the house, the stickier it is, right? The person who has 2 devices versus the person who has 10 devices, right? The person with 10 is more committed to this. So, what we do see though is that by and large, if you're an HVAC only shop, you're focused on the HVAC side of things, right? The thermostats, the temperature sensors, those are and water sensors in specific places like condensate pans. Those are the key areas of focus. So that's where they focus on this. And a lot of it depends on the customer, right? That if you get the tech savvy customer, they realize like, hey, I got LiftMaster garage doors. Can I pull that in? And it's like, yeah, of course you can. So they start pulling in the LiftMaster garage doors, right? Or they have Lutron lights and they just, so, we don't try to lock this down so that if you get customers that want to pull in more, it's like, go for it, right? The more you have, the better it is. But as far as the trades company, they really just need to focus on getting the hub in the house,
Yep.
and then getting if you're HVAC, getting the thermostat on the wall. Like that's the critical piece, right? And for plumbers, it's get the flow meter in there and get some water sensors in there.
Yeah.
And that when you focus on that core, right, you've got the flexibility. You can add as much as you want, or you can add nothing at all.
Yeah.
Right. But the core pieces, the water valve and meter and the thermostat, those are so critical to that business that those are enough to lock that customer in.
Yeah, 100%. And again, on every single leak job, man, that should be, whether that's washing machine hoses, water heat, whatever. Even if it's a little leak, didn't do a lot of damage, they already have it in their head now. The possibility of what could have happened had X, Y, and Z happened and they weren't home, boom, it's a whole different story.
I mean, especially it's so easy, but like our valve and meter is 11-inch, 1-inch pipe. It's as easy as it gets. You couple unions in there and you're done.
Yeah.
It's nothing to install, and because it's cellular, you're not worried about Nana's Wi-Fi password or anything like that. You just turn it on and plug it in, and that's pretty much it. The account creation, provisioning is simple. You literally scan a barcode and you type in the customer's name and cell phone number, and that's all you have to do.
You're all good. Okay, so let's talk. Let's talk marketing. So what do you guys do to market it, and what do you recommend on the contractor side?
I mean, so the marketing itself, it's sort of like we are a marketing engine, right? We are one piece, and there's a lot more to it. The magic that you do, right? It's like we hope to be one little element of this, where the real story is all the branding inside the app. And what we've tried to put together is a pretty seamless go-to-market approach that it just fits in with everything that you're already doing, right? So every new water heater just gets this little bit of hardware. You build the service fees into your maintenance plan, and you're off to the races, right? It should be that simple.
Agreed.
And where we're building the app is that I've got more and more pieces that are getting customizable to be, if you want to run promotions in the app, that's the vision of where we're going with this. Right. That we can be another marketing channel for you. But we know the response rates, right? We know that people are logging into the app. We know that when you send push notifications to book appointments, they book appointments, right? We've also seen that they organically book appointments just using the app. So we have a scheduling feature in the app that somebody can come in and just say, hey, I want help.
Wow. Nice.
And we see organically that folks just use that as an easy means to book appointments. So instead of that super expensive pay-per-click, right, where somebody goes out to Google to find you, that's a tax, right? It's just like the IRS these days. It's like you got to pay Sam, you got to pay Uncle Google. That's where a huge your dollars are going. Right? Now you can own these customer relationships, so force them through this channel, so that way, you're not paying to reacquire your same old customers.
Right. Yeah. You're keeping them. You're impressing them with over delivery, sort of, and so you're probably increasing your referral rate as well, and all that good stuff. So agreed. So it's up to the home service company to market it, and it should be, I agree, it should just be with every single, if you're a plumber, with every single HVAC system, which is normal because you're probably putting a thermostat in all the time anyway.
Right.
And then if you're a plumber, absolutely, every water heater job, every leak job, really every job, it should be brought up. You want to protect yourself from all this. Do any of these guys cross over into lighting? So you also have lighting controls, right? Which are like smart plugs where you could put anything in it and then control through the app, it looks like.
Yep, exactly. The other killer app that we've seen for our electricians' doorbell cameras have been a huge one.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of going to put in a ring where Amazon's going to get that recurring revenue, like you're an electrician, you should put it in, and you should get the recurring revenue.
That's brilliant.
Right. It's because before it was like, yeah, Amazon would give you that camera for free, or Google would give you that camera for free, and the monthly you could do everything you wanted without having to pay a service fee. Now those are 12, 15, $20 a month.
Yep.
Right. Why not buy it for much less than that on a monthly basis, right? And you mark it up, right? You could be making an extra 10, $15 a camera every month, right? That's a great recurring revenue source.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. What's in the future? Is AI playing a role in your world at all, Dan?
Oh, I mean, so on a couple of fronts, right? So on the video side, which is just, I mean, for better or worse, it's cool yet scary. I mean, but just we're going facial recognition and being able to identify, oh, mom's home, dad's home, kid's home, right? And like my door lock, my electronic door lock's not going to work if the face doesn't match the code, sort of thing. But on the HVAC side, I mean, our whole world is AI and machine learning trying to figure out when is the system broken.
Nice.
And it's pretty wild to sit here and look at these patterns and look at how a house recovers. I mean, we can see a loss of efficiency of a system. So we can see that system degrading. And it's interesting that customers aren't necessarily as open to, hey, your system's sort of breaking and on its way.
Right.
Right now, it's more, it's broken. Okay, fine, you can come out, right? Nobody wants to make that proactive kind of system replacement. But I mean, we can actually see this stuff degrading. It's pretty wild that you can kind of, we kind of score everything. And you can see if it was a scale of 1 to 100, 100 is everything's great, and 0, that thing's dead. And it's probably 15, that thing's dead. It's like, people don't want to hear about their 20s and 30s. It's like, just wait till dead. But, hopefully in the future that we can start educating folks to say, hey, let's get these, more tune-ups and getting things clean and see if we can't bump that efficiency back up before the system just truly dies.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Maybe one day the circuit board inside the, the boiler and the HVAC system will be part of your system, and then it can communicate a lot more information.
Yeah, we actually have that. Like Carrier Infinity and Bryant Evolution, we plug into that control board today.
Oh wow!
So I can give you all the error codes out of that.
Wow, that's awesome.
So hopefully that's where it all goes. I'm guardedly optimistic that these devices get more and more open to share that information. I mean, right now, a lot of the guys who have information on their control boards are kind of locked down, but I think it's only a matter of time before they want to open up to a broader ecosystem.
Yeah,
so
I think in a way out machine or world, all these things are connected. You can run your whole darn house from your phone app, and everything's integrated, and start dinner.
Yeah,
right? Exactly. Get the robot going. Too awesome. So let's talk about, so what do you guys do on the marketing side? Let's talk marketing a little bit. So you're going after home service companies, basically. So what's your guys' approach to reach them?
I mean, so this is all kind of the challenge du jour, right? This is what we're looking to do. How do we get to more? I mean, this is why I'm here today talking to you, is hopefully getting the word out that, I will say that a lot of this has been kind of, tweaking the product, making sure it's ready, and do we have the right product mix? And I think we're finally at that point where this is ready to go. And also I think that the market is ready to adopt this. I think if you talk to HVAC guys 2 or 3 years ago, or plumbers about proactive monitoring, they're like, that's add-on stuff. I don't need that. And now I think with inflation getting higher, and all of a sudden, like, these prices that you can charge for a new system are not inelastic, right? There gets to be a point where it's like someone's just got to make the decision where, $25,000 for a new HVAC system. It's like, it's getting to be to the point where it's like, I don't even care with financing. This is just too much money.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no, I think before it seemed like there was no ceiling to how much people would pay for this stuff. And it definitely feel like we're hitting that. So, right, what do you do to control your costs? Right. And what do you do to control this? So and getting people on your maintenance plan, and maintaining that relationship so you don't have a high customer acquisition cost is really a
Yeah.
key strategy. So I feel like now the market has sort of said, yeah, you're right. Like, let's get after these memberships. Let's make sure we have a robust maintenance plan, because that's how we can maintain customer relationships and get paid for it, frankly.
Yeah.
So we've been out there, we've talked to a lot of the bigger shops out there. I mean, some of the folks that are out there selling our stuff have been kind of some of the kind of, I don't want to say super regional, but just big, kind of those $100+ million shops that are out there putting this out there. And now we're trying to get the word out to the more mass market and try to get to the progressive shops that kind of are looking to technology to grow their businesses, to come and give us a look and see if this could help them grow their shops.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Just a few years ago, turning away from all this, the contractors were turning away from, all these add-ons, smart home additions. I can remember some of the conversations I had with some of our clients, it's just, but today, you're right, they're grasping it. A little economic downturn is good for business in a lot of ways. So it's been kind of a gravy train for, gosh, seems like a dozen years or so now.
Yeah,
And, anybody could have really succeeded in the last 12. But it's when it turns south a little bit and you got to go lean and mean. That's when we're all challenged a little bit and got to learn how to get more juice out of the lemon, right?
exactly. Well, it's funny. It reminds me of out in California, whenever that was, in the housing bubble in 2006, 2007. It was like 1 in 3 people in California had a real estate license, because it was,
Yeah,
anyone could make money doing this. It's like when things collapse, that's when you see, okay, who can really do this, right? Who are the
exactly.
people who really have value? And it's like, just with the changes in the kind of the trades industries, with all the PE roll ups and everything else, like the dynamic has changed, right? You'll see these PE groups that are like, hey, listen, we want to get top line revenue up, so we're okay to throw enormous amount of money at advertising and customer acquisition, right? Where I
Right.
was talking to one plumber recently where he was like, yes, last summer clicks were up to $1,000 a piece,
Oh, wow.
right? And it was just this astronomical number, and it's like, okay, that's a lot, right? So what can you do to do a better job hanging on to your customers, so that you're not in this battle with somebody who has a lot of money,
Yeah.
right, to compete with.
Yeah, and that is so for the home service guys out there. Private equity is move has moved into your field. So you won't be replaced by a robot, but private equity going to gobble up everybody around you, and could make life very, very difficult. And you're right. So Google, I like that, Uncle Google. Uncle Google is getting greedy, man. As is Uncle Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So. Man, and those things are not in our control. So yeah, um, only 3 ways to grow business, right? Get more customers, increase your average ticket, or get repeat sales. And I'm blown away
Mm-hmm.
at how many businesses ignore part three there. They do business with a customer, and then they're gone. They don't do anything ever again. They don't communicate with that customer, and hope that they come back to them. So your device is a perfect stay connected. Even if they don't do a maintenance plan, all they do is your devices, and that becomes the maintenance plan. Then that's better than nothing. Now you're staying connected to that customer.
Well, I mean, think about the average customer, right? It's like you just sold them an HVAC system. Most likely in the next 10 years, they'll need another HVAC system.
Yep.
In the meantime, they're probably going to have one catastrophic breakdown. They're probably going to need their water heater replaced,
Yep.
right? So it's like, and that coupled with $20-$30 a month that you could be getting from them, you look at the lifetime value of that customer, you could be up by 150% of dollars from that customer over a 10-year period over what you would have had if you just let them walk away and go to the next one.
Definitely. Definitely. And maybe because it's been so easy, or easier, let's say, not so easy, but easier in the last dozen years, that maybe it was easy to let those guys go. I don't know why. That, to me, that's just criminal. But stay connected. So stay connected. Number one, get those referral. Stay. I say get an email newsletter out. Do a win back text campaign every 3 or 4 months. Whatever you can do to stay connected. So having a maintenance plan is absolutely awesome. You're the one they're going to call. when a problem comes up. And this technology is even better. Now they've got an app they get to play with all the time. I didn't even think of that. It's just probably a tactile thing. They just want to, is my
People,
home.
yeah, log into. I mean, I know I like, it's 1:40. I know my oldest will be home from school in about 20 minutes, and I can sit here and look at that app, and I can see him walk through the door and enter his code to get in, and right, and I can see my wife if she shoots out. I see her garage door open. I mean, we can do everything. I can see her car starting, and high speed alert, and it's like
awesome. Watch it travel down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all there in one app, and then these things are smart. They work together, right? Like if you have a carbon monoxide alarm, right? You got to be somewhere in your house, right? Carbon monoxide alarm goes off. It sends a message to the thermostat that says, "Hey, turn off the heat." Right? You got a problem here. So these things are smart and work together. I know, like we've got backyard kids go out and play. I've got a door window sensor on there that hey, the kids leave the back door open, turn off the air conditioning. Right?
Nice.
I turned into the modern. The old guy air condition the whole neighborhood. It's like, no, I don't, because it turns off automatically, right? I don't even worry about that stuff anymore, right? The lights always turn on at sunset, and they always turn off at 10, and it doesn't matter what time of year you're in, and whether it's getting dark at 4:30 in the winter or 9 o'clock this time of year. It's all that. I just don't worry about that.
Yeah,
and it all ties back to the contractor. When you think about your email, like you're just touch base about here's the seasonal email. We send out a monthly email that's branded for the contractor that shows you how your system's running, right? It's a quick little health report. It's got your name and your brand, and it shows, this is how many you run an average of 2 hours a day in March, and you'll see it go up to 4 hours a day in June. And, maybe in September it's down to an hour a day. And you can see that year over year, and just some interactive stuff, but with real data about your house. So it's not just here's this email that's kind of with some good topics in there, but it's like, oh wait, this is real information about my house. So I better pay attention to it. And that's weird. How come I ran so much more this August than I did last August?
Right. So now going on
and trying to figure that out.
And that's white label branded in the contractor's name. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Is the app? I forgot to ask you that. Is the app the same way, white label branded, or?
So everything inside the app. I mean, Apple gives us a little bit of a hard time for trying to put the same out with everybody's name. I mean, the interesting thing now is Apple has kind of come around to this. So we've done a few custom apps for some of our bigger partners. I mean, obviously there's some volume kind of commitments that we require to get your custom branded, but everything inside the app is branded. Like our app is just called Home by Building 36. So it's generic house. And then inside of it is your HVAC or plumbing shop. But for bigger shops or for, with some volume commitments, we're able to put out a custom app as well.
Nice. So yeah, if you're big enough, contact you guys and see if you can build out a white label app for them. Is there a you did say there was a communication portal within the app, so I can contact my HVAC contractor and say, hey, get a hold of me, right?
Yeah. So it's wow. I mean, it's one of these things where it takes a little bit of time to build that base, but we've got one customer that's got almost 10,000 customers in this, and he's built that up over years. But we saw, I was just looking through some of this data, and it was like in 2023, I think his number was close to 7% of customers on that, out of that, many thousands, had booked an appointment with him through the app in 2023.
Nice.
Right? So you're sitting here, it's like these people, they're constantly thinking about you. And when they think to you, they're like, oh, I can just do this through my app. But if you think about the average customer, you're only going to need to replace you're not getting into everybody's house every single year. So to sit here and say that, 7% of these customers just use the app to book an appointment because that was the convenient way for them.
That's awesome.
It's, it's there was no click in there. There was no search in there, right? There was no Facebook ad. So it's a gift that keeps on giving.
It's beautiful. They don't even have to look for you in their phone, in their contacts, poof, open the app. And it's like sending a text right to the company. I don't have to look for you in my, what's the name of that our HVAC company again? I can't remember. Did I put them under HVAC or did I put them under Bob's, HVAC? I don't know. Beautiful. So let's talk packages, Dan. So if I'm a contractor, can I buy just do I have to buy X number of packages, or can I buy just the water leak package, so on and so forth? How does that work?
We sell everything a la carte. I mean, we obviously focus on the kit-based solution first. So maybe a water kit and a a plumbing kit. Like those are the basics. But yeah, I mean, when a contractor signs up with us, they can start buying onesie twosie or as many as they want. So there's no minimum. There's not even a fee to sign up. There's just a minimum monthly. And it's very little. It's $250 a month is where you start. So once you get 30 or so customers, it just goes to a per customer per month fee, and it's make up.
Should I buy like I don't know 10 or 20 kits? Like let's say I'm a plumber, right? And I want your water leak detection kit, but I want them in the trucks. I want the guys to have them. So when we sell a water heater, we just install it. Can I pre-order packages and then what do? We activate them when we're in the home that day?
Exactly. So you buy the hardware, right? As soon as you sell it, you activate it in that moment. There's a separate app for the installer. Again, it's really quick. They basically scan the barcode of the hub, which is you got to activate the cellular radio. So you just scan the barcode of the hub, type in the customer's name and their cell phone number, and that's it, and hit go. And then it activates it with Verizon or with AT&T, and then that's all they need. And the customer, as soon as the hub comes online, as soon as cellular connects, the customer will get a text message, and then the customer sets up everything else themselves.
Nice.
There's really everything is like out of the box, pre-configured and ready to go.
Nice. So they download the app and they finish the registration or whatever through the app. Gotcha.
Exactly. So that way you don't do that. And I also have tier 1 support. So if anybody needs a customer who wants some extra TLC, we got an 800 number. They can call right up, and
I see.
We'll answer in your name and deal with all that.
That's awesome.
We realize tradespeople want to get in and out of the house. They want to fix the problem they have. They don't want to be tech support or Geek Squad. No. We'll do that, and we're happy to handle all that.
Yeah, it was wise to get away from Wi-Fi and go to cellular, incur the cost, pass them on. Absolutely, because the tech doesn't want to do that. So 5 minutes, and the barcode. Yeah. I like it. Get them to download the app, put in the phone number, and the tech is done. It sounds like. Outside of now, we're going to put the sensors, water sensors. So I'm going to put one by like the washing machine, one by the water heater. I don't know, maybe one in the bathroom where maybe the toilets would leak. You're just placing those on the ground.
Right. You just pull the batteries out and place them. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And they're already prepared and learned in. I mean, they use a technology called Z-Wave, this is what everybody uses in the security world. It's a very industry standard radio. You could go, basically anywhere can get Z-Wave devices. But that's the technology we standardize on. I mean, that's what the security world's been using for probably, it goes back about 15 years at this point. So it's tried and true.
Nice.
We have, it's got to be on the order of 20 million Z-Wave devices out in the field. So,
jeez, crazy.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot.
Well, I like the fact that, that's it. They scan the barcode, they put the phone number in, they're done. The customer gets the app, we place the devices. Of course, if it's the water saving, I've got a fee that I'm going to install the device, right? Where the water's coming into the house, we're going to put it somewhere in that line right there, and then I'm done. So I got a little revenue gain there also in installing.
Well, you can sell. I mean, this hardware is. I think we sell it pretty inexpensively. That there's good healthy margin to make selling the hardware itself. So you're making one nut when you sell the hardware. Right. Make a little bit more money on your recurring, and then hopefully it generates some future business for you as well.
Yeah.
So it's real.
Will. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's no loss leader here, right? We're not expecting anybody to eat anything, right? You should be able to be profitable on all of this.
Yeah, make a few dollars, stay top of mind. Get 4, 5, 6, 7% of just automated, just because of things sending text reviews or whatever.
Right, just reminding them, hey, I'm here. It's like, oh yeah, you probably should come out for that plumbing inspection, or you should come for that tune-up for my HVAC system, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's awesome, Dan. Appreciate what you guys have done out there. How do people reach you, Dan? What's the website, and if they want to reach out to you personally, how do they do that?
Yeah, so the website is building36.com. So building36.com, and I'm just Dan at building36.com.
Beautiful.
Easy enough.
My old football jersey. Where's the name come from, Building 36? MIT building or?
Yeah, no, it's funny. At MIT, everything's a number. All the buildings, all the classes, right? So somebody would say, hey, I got 6004 and 36100 at 11, somebody, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Only
So
if
we
you're in
joked,
MIT, though. Yes.
yeah, we joked that we had a bunch of ideas when we started this company, and we had a handful of hardware products and software products, and we joked that these were just technologies that we dreamed up at Building 36. So then it kind of stuck.
Your timing
So
was like perfect too, actually. Yeah, you couldn't have timed it any better. And so hats off to you, man. You guys have done an awesome job of getting it out there, and finding the right market for it. Contractors, not homeowners. So that was a smart pivot whenever you did that. Um,
yeah,
okay,
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So like the contract, it's just like we got too many phone calls that said my thermostat's broken, and
Yeah,
it's like, well,
yeah,
it's not your thermostat, right? Your thermostat don't break. It's your heat. It's your cool, right?
yep.
It's like, the thing that you really need is a technician, and that was the piece that was missing. And now that we're driving it back to the technicians, it's everybody's happier.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Full circle service, and just expanding the effectiveness of the existing products, with new products that add on to it. Beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dan, you get to close out the show. Anything I didn't touch on you'd like to touch on, or books you want to recommend, or podcasts, or whatever? You got the show.
Battle Plan Marketing is obviously the podcast I recommend.
We're the worst damn podcast out there. Don't listen to us.
No, I just said, we'd love to work with you, right? That we've been watching the trades and trying to be a part of this for a long time, and I think finally have dialed in the recipe. So if you're out there listening and you want to have better relationship with your customers, if you want to generate recurring revenue, if you want to increase the value of your business and get more from the customers you already have, then come reach out to us at Building 36.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm a fan. You got a fan here, Dan, and I will absolutely be recommending. I already do. I've been trying to tell my plumber guys and stuff. This is your French fries, man. Would you like fries with that? You just had a leak, and your garage is covered in water. You ruined some stuff that was sitting on the floor. Let's not do that again, right? So
it's the easiest sell you'll ever have, right?
I really think it is.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want to protect your home? Yes, I do. Yes. Dan, you're awesome. I'm looking forward to promoting you out there. Thanks for coming on the show, sir. I love what you built out there, man.
Thanks so much, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care.